Hello, my name is Kira Duggan, and I decided to do my presentation on A Walk to Beautiful, a powerful documentary that follows the lives of 5 women who suffer from malnutrition, obstetric fistulas, and child marriages. The global health issues addressed in this documentary are child marriages, malnutrition, especially in girls of childbearing age, and lack of proper OB care during childbirth. Child marriages. Despite most countries having laws and policies in place that make child marriage under 18 illegal, 1/5 of all women are still getting married before the age of 18, and this number is on the rise. Since the beginning of the pandemic in 2019, this number is expected to rise from 8 million to 10 million. Child marriage is so dangerous because they lead to higher rates of early pregnancy, domestic violence, poor health, poor economic outcomes, and higher rates of child and mother morbidity and mortality. The driving forces behind child marriage continuing to happen despite the laws are lack of education, religion, and financial burdens. Poor families push their daughters into marriages hoping that they are financially taken care of for the rest of their lives. Malnutrition. In Ethiopia, where this documentary takes place, 1/3 women suffer from malnutrition. Malnutrition in pregnancy can lead to anemia, preeclampsia, stillbirths, low birth weights, developmental delays in the child, and hemorrhage. These are all extremely dangerous, especially in areas such as Ethiopia, where prenatal care and labor care are so limited. Women have to walk for miles or even days while in active labor. Malnutrition can also lead to stunting, which can cause women to be much smaller than they should be, and as a result, they have a much more difficult time pushing their baby out, and in many cases, the baby can get stuck, and these women could be in labor for a week before finally seeing a doctor. The images to the right show more details about the risks of malnutrition. Obstetric fistulas. 500,000 women and girls suffer from obstetric fistulas. These can occur after traumatic births, often where there is a stillbirth, and a hole is formed in between the birth canal and the bladder or the rectum, leaving the woman chronically incontinent. Women go off to have a baby, instead they come back to their husbands and they do not have a baby, and now they have to suffer from incontinence. As a result, they experience immense amounts of shame and social isolation. Obstetric fistulas are 100% preventable with proper OB care, proper nutrition, and delayed pregnancy age. Connection to the film. This film did a great job at bringing attention to the horrors that these women experience. One woman, Almaz, explains that she was just grocery shopping when she was kidnapped by her husband and forced into marriage at 15. The other women are also all married before 18, and they all suffer from incontinence due to obstetric fistulas. Many of them have to live in shacks outside their homes because their families no longer want them in the house. One woman's mother stated she wished her daughter could just live outside without a shack because she doesn't think she needs a shelter, but people in her community guilted her into having a shelter built. This shame and social isolation is so bad that many of these women are suicidal. Thankfully, they hear about this clinic called the Addis Ababa Fistula Hospital in Ethiopia that will fix their fistulas for free. So each of these women take the trek to the hospital, even though it's days away. Once they get there, the women begin their healing, not just physically, but emotionally, because they are able to speak with fellow women who have similar experiences. Some women's fistulas are so bad that it takes multiple surgeries, and some may never be fully continent again, but the doctors try their very best to fix these ladies. And after their procedures, they get new clothes and are able to go back to their homes, knowing their lives have been forever changed. They no longer have to experience the horrific shame they once did. The women get sent home with a card stating that if they get pregnant again, they must reach OB care before they go into labor. That way, the doctors can help them. One of the OBs in the film states that obstetric fistulas are the silent epidemic because women suffer in silence. I think that this film is so important because it calls attention to a major issue that these women go through. Media influence. I think that in this case, the media is extremely helpful. The documentary was published in 2007, and since then, there has been a significant increase in obstetric fistulas funding and awareness. And there are more policies in place to make child marriage illegal. UNICEF and Healthy People are two big organizations that have been leading this fight to end child marriage and obstetric fistulas. This fight is even more important now since the pandemic because the increase in number of child marriages. Their battle begins with educating and empowering women. I definitely recommend everybody watching this documentary. It is so eye-opening to see what these women have to go through, and is really heartwarming to see how truly happy they are once they're able to get fixed and go home. It is truly amazing, and I recommend everyone watching it.